All right. Obviously very pleased getting the win in Columbia on Saturday. Um, I've been down there a bunch, and that's not an easy task. So really pleased with the way our guys played. I felt like they were ready mentally for what they were going into, and also physically. I'm really proud of how our guys, we got up 14-0, and that's been a big challenge for our guys, really, is to keep the pedal down and to not kind of have that lapse in the game like maybe we've had in a few games, in the middle part of the season. I felt like our guys did a good job of really pressing through and keeping pressure on their defense and moving the ball. I thought we did a really good job on third down and in the red zone, and then threw and caught the ball well. So I feel like we've got some good momentum here going into the championship game. Also had some good explosive plays. And so for us, that was a huge goal, accomplishing our third goal, winning the state championship. And now when the guys come back today, we'll have a few corrections off of that. And then all our focus will be on our fourth goal, which is to win the ACC. Doesn't take very long when you turn on the Miami's tape and start watching that to see how talented they are on defense. Very aggressive, very athletic. Will definitely be one of the top defenses that we face this year. They also have a lot of depth. That's really impressive. They play a lot of guys. I think they play 9 guys on the defensive line, and not a big drop off there. Have a lot of respect for Manny Diaz, their defensive coordinator. He does an excellent job. Does not have a lot of tendencies, and he does a really good job of mixing things up and keeping offenses off balance, and really kind of has a game plan specific for the team they're playing that week. They're number 1 in the country in turnover margin, so that'll continue to be a big factor for us as we go. And then they're also number 1 in the country in sacks, number 2 in the country in tackles for loss, and number 15th in the country in scoring defense, only giving up 18 points a game. So it'll be a big challenge for us offensively. Should be a great game. I know our guys are excited, looking forward to the challenge, and ready to go play on Saturday night. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Their defense has been so good at creating turnovers. Everybody knows about the turnover chain. Is there anything you can do, and how they've been creating things that other teams' mistakes? Are they good at stripping?
Yeah, I went and watched all of their turnovers last night. There was a good number of them, and really the majority of them they caused. There was maybe 1 or 2 where the quarterback dropped the snap or something like that, but 90% of them, Miami did a great job of causing the turnover. They do a good job of tackling the ball as they're tackling the ball carrier, being very specific with their hands, trying to knock the ball out. And then, I think the interceptions are a combination of their scheme, being unpredictable in their scheme. They got guys roaming around, a little bit unorthodox in some of their coverages that have created some issues for the quarterbacks that they faced. And then also just some great plays by their guys in the secondary. I mean, they cover some ground. They remind me a lot of our guys that we go against every day. That's really, whenever I watch their defense, I see our defense out there. A lot of similarities at each position. So it'll definitely, for us, it'll, we really talk about turnovers every week and the importance of that. And we talked about that going into the game against South Carolina this past week. That was something that I talked to the offense about. Going into the South Carolina game, that was going to be our 4th road game against a top 25 opponent. And in our previous 3 games on the road versus top 25 opponents, we only had 1 turnover, which is really impressive, and I think a big reason why we had the success that we had on the road. So our guys know, we have a philosophy that if we protect the ball, we win. That's just a mindset that our guys have. Regardless of anything else in the game, if we don't turn the ball over, we win. That's kind of been one of the things that we live by and part of our, process of winning. And our guys have bought into that, and we've done a good job with it at times. And then there's other times where, the ball's gotten away from us. So, it'll be a focus every day in practice like it's been. But, outside of that, the guys got to go out there and play and hopefully do a good job protecting the ball.
How big was it that they were
so concentrating on stopping Kelly's legs, for him to just win the game with his arm, to kind of his confidence, help his confidence going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kelly's done a good job. I think he's completing 66.5%, something on the year. I think Deshaun finished the year at 67. So, I mean, he's doing a really good job. I think for the biggest thing for us is completing a few of those deep balls, and like the 2 balls that he hit with T. Higgins, those were nice plays. The one on their sideline was a nice play. And, for us offensively, part of our success is the balance and really making defenses have to make a choice whether they want to stop the run or stop the pass. And usually it's a cat and mouse game back and forth throughout the game. They're trying to decide when you're throwing it, when you're running it, and we're trying to do the opposite. I think Kelly does a great job of managing the game, managing the situation, managing our offense. It may look a little bit different than, Deshaun in the past, but, he's, for the most part, he's protecting the football, and he's making good decisions. As coaches, we know where the ball's supposed to be delivered. And, he continues to do a really good job of making the right decisions. The one interception, their corner made a great play, and T didn't have the best release. He could have done a little bit better job over there in the boundary. But outside of that, I think, he's had 2 turnovers now in those 4 big road games. I think for all of us, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, the tight ends, offensively, we play at our best when we can throw and catch and when we do have that balance. And I feel like, to be honest, that we're just starting to hit our stride right here at the right time.
Jeff, when you talk about the imperative of not turning ball over, how do you strike a balance in dealing with the skill position players of, we don't need you giving up the ball, but keeping them from becoming timid as a result of that being in their mind?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is that we're consistent with it. If we didn't talk about ball security all year long and then we got to this game and made a real big deal about it, that's not what you want to do. But, biggest thing is we show guys examples. I think the end of the NC State Wake Forest game, the receiver was going in for an easy touchdown and reached the ball over when he didn't have to, and Wake Forest knocks the ball out. And so that's a teachable moment. And, if you can learn from other people's mistakes, and then hopefully it'll help you prevent some. So we look for that. I know on Tuesdays, Tuesday for us, each day has a special theme. Tuesday for us is Tanoga Tuesday, which is takeaway and no giveaway. And so at the very beginning of our team meeting every Tuesday, Coach Sweeney has a video put together, for our defense of any turnovers that they caused in the last game, and then also other turnovers, maybe in some of the NFL games or the opponent we're getting ready to play, and then they can turn around and also show a bunch of pictures of great ball security. So just trying to get those guys to get a visual picture of that, and and coaching it. Really, that's what we do. We coach it, coming back correct. Watching this game, there were a couple of times, T. Higgins had the ball out on that sideline, trying to make a play, and the ball got away from him. So that's a coachable moment for him and for all those guys. To be able to see that, and then also from practice. I mean, we grade every play in practice. We call it BIJ, which is a ball in jeopardy. So we'll chart those in practice and in games, and really, kind of keep that attention, right in the forefront of our guys. And I think they really believe, seeing what we've done in the past, that if we protect the ball, that we're, can be difficult to beat. Yeah, I mean, that was a question that kind of came up earlier in the year, kind of looking ahead, thinking, do you want to play Virginia Tech or Miami? And, I don't know which one's advantageous. I think for us as coaches, and I know as players, I think they're excited about playing a new team. And, it seems like the last couple of years, even in the bowl games, we've kind of had a lot of repeat games. So, Miami obviously has had a great season. I got a lot of respect for Coach Mark Richt. His wife used to babysit me back in the day whenever we were in Tallahassee during the early years. And, he's a lot like Coach Sweeney. He does it the right way, and a guy that I look up to in the coaching profession. And what Miami has done this year, we've kept up with that all year long. And I think our guys are excited to get out there and go play against them. They know it's going to be a big challenge. They got, they're having an outstanding season. They got a lot of great players. So, I think, to be honest, our guys are probably more excited to get to play somebody different. But at the end of the day, you got an opportunity to win an ACC championship, and it really doesn't matter who you play. Our formula is it's all about us. It's about how we play and not who we play.
Were you well behaved when she was babysitting?
As far as I know, I was well behaved.
Jeff, you guys obviously use a lot of different receivers, but with the confidence it seems like T suddenly has, this kind of emergence with his size, speed, and skill set, what does he kind of mean for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, T has definitely emerged as a big play threat. T's one of those guys that has the rare combination of great size, length, catch radius, to go along with really good speed and quick feet. And he's a guy, he's made these plays in practice, and we've tried in some earlier games this year to give him some opportunities, and it just didn't match up just right. The opportunity he got on the inside fade there against South Carolina, we had that designed, hoping they were going to be in man coverage, hoping we were going to have the right matchup. And at that time, it worked out exactly for what we designed it for. And then, Kelly and T went out and executed it. But, I think T's confidence is continuing to grow, and he's going to be a special player. And I think he'll continue to make plays for us here down the stretch.